Hey guys, in the following video we take a look at the generic settings with Flothemes and the Evora theme. So to get there you'll go to Flothemes, Generics, and here you have a few different areas. If you want to watch this video again you can do so in the introduction area. But we have 5 main areas here: social media, custom code, generic typography, miscellaneous, and preloader. Social media, this is where you can choose the style for the social media icons, whether that is icons and letters. And if you choose letters, you can choose the font style. And these are the social sharing options that would be at the end of your posts, pages, etc. Whatever you add those to. And it allows people to share the page to these different networks. You also have the section for your social links, and that is for your own personal links, so people can link through to those on your site. And that could be, for example, in your footer, like these options here. So you choose the network, add the URL for that, so make sure you add the full URL for that, and just continue to add those. So if you want to add another one, you can scroll down, hit add a social link, and then just choose the network, add the link, and that's it. If you want to remove one, just hit the removes icon here in the middle, remove row, and you can remove it. If you want to move them into order, just hold one, drag and drop it into position, and it's good to go. Once you're happy with that, as always, just hit update. Custom code, this is for CSS code and JavaScript. If you need to add any to your site, maybe you need to make a few adjustments that aren't as default, you can use CSS or JavaScript if you have some knowledge of that, or you have a developer to assist you. Generic typography, the main setting here would be the tablet font zoom size. I would suggest setting this to between 20 and 40%. This will zoom the font size on tablets and increase it a little bit. Because we're using responsive sizing, sometimes in tablet it can look a little small. You also have the option to select the different styles for the different generic type throughout the site. That's for the input fields label, so that would be on the contact forms. The input field font, the actual input, so if we went to a contact form, you can see that. Let's go to contact one here. So that would be the styling for this input font here. Of course, we don't have an actual label here at the top, but that would be the font for that. You also have the paragraph font, a paragraph with a link, H1 through H6, so the headers, and a block quote. And again, you can choose any of the styles from the typography section in the style settings area for that. Miscellaneous. We have a few different options here. The option to set up the buttons as default, so if you wanted to set the button text color as default, you can do that and choose the actual font style. You can also enable a background color for the buttons. If you wanted to have a specific background color, you can select a color for that as well. And you can add a hex value here, whatever values that you want, basically. Other settings, you can disable the fading effect if you don't like the fade as the page scrolls. You can disable these options for the desktop, tablets, and mobile. I would recommend disabling them on mobile and tablets if you don't like that experience, and of course if you don't like it at all, just disable it for desktop. You can also set the site background color. So the primary background color right now is white, but you can set the background color as well. The site width can also be set, so it can be fixed or responsive. Generally, most of the time it will be responsive, but fixed is also a great option if you don't want this to scale up on really large screens. And if you're going for fixed, I would say 1180 would be more than enough for your theme and display your work in the best possible manner. You can also disable this preview button. This preview lets you see your site on different devices, as you can see up here, and you can preview any page whenever you're editing it. And you also have a preloader option here as well. That is the site preloader, so if you want to enable the preloader, you can turn that on. That means whenever the page loads, it will display the logo for the site. And you can choose the default logo for that, or you can disable this option and choose a custom logo, and that would be you ready to get started. So that is the generic settings for the Evora theme. Really simple and straightforward, nothing really there that will be difficult for you to use. And that's it. You can go ahead, update any of those settings if you want. The most notable will probably be the preloader, the miscellaneous option to disable the fade effect, and of course your social media icons.